What's up, y'all? Like, comment, and subscribe. This is original content. We up, baby. Let's get this stream going. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know if we still got the damn round of applause on this mug, but let's see. Maybe not. All right, what's going on, guys? Beats by Lonze back in the building. And today I wanted to just give you a quick rundown, and I wanted to talk to everybody about the MPC Live 3. Let's talk. Now, this video is going to be ahead of its time because I'm going to make a video on the MPC Live 3. So stay tuned for this video for the MPC Live 3. We're going to talk about, I'm going to give you my thoughts about the machine, let you know what it is I like about it, what it is that I don't like about it, and I'm not going to tell you whether you should buy it or not, but you will have to make a decision on your own if you'd like to buy it, if you'd like to pass on it, or whatever the deal is you want to do when it comes to this machine. Oh man, I'm excited. It's an incredible machine, man. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much before I do my video. Really, I don't want to give away too much before I do my video. Let's see how many people will come on the stream. If we don't get many people on the stream, then I will cut the video off and we won't talk about it. But right now, I think I want to I want to give y'all a sneak peek of what I feel about the machine. Now let me see if I can move my thingy out the way, because let's see if I can move it out the way. Edit name, headline. Let's take it out of there. Edit headline. Take it out. And take it out. And save. Oh, it ain't gonna do it. Alright, so let's cancel it. Alright, so check it out. A couple months back, when I heard that they were gonna come out with this new machine, immediately, y'all already know, I already said I'm gonna buy the first machine that Akai drops. And no matter what it looks like, no matter what it's gonna be, whatever the newest machine they're gonna come out with, I'm gonna buy it. And the reason that I said that I was gonna buy the new machine is because I knew there's a couple things that has to happen when they make a new machine. Well, one of a couple things that should happen when someone makes a new machine. First of all, it should be an upgrade. They should take the information that they have off of the old machines, and they should try to improve upon what the old machine did or does. So that was number one. I already knew that Akai, if they cared about their consumers, and if they were listening, which I do know for sure that they're listening, that they will somehow, in some way, form of fashion, cater to the individuals who buy drum machines. And me being one of those people that buy drum machines, I'm following the freaking tea leaves. I'm saying, okay, if you look from the past, if you go from MPC 2000 to the MPC 2500 to the MPC 5000 to the MPC 4000, they always try to improve upon the last machine based off of what the consumer is saying that they wanted in these drum machines. And if you know anything about these MPCs, the corner of the music industry that really rocked with MPCs hard was the hip hop community. And so the hip hop community, when those producers are saying, hey, such and such needs to be in it, such and such needs to be in it, such and such needs to be in it, they're listening, because that is the target audience that would want these machines. And so, again, looking at the tea leaves, I already knew that there had to be something that they were going to update on this machine. Now, did I know that they were going to update the USB, the regular USB cable to the USB-C? Nah, I didn't see that one coming. But I told y'all this story previously about I was very upset when everybody started going to the USB-C cable. Now you see this is the old blue cable that you run from your old MPCs to your computer. Now I don't know how much audio signal could be ran from that cable. I don't think any audio signal could be ran through that cable. It was all just data transfer back and forth. So, in order for them to have moved into the newest century of drum machines, they had to use something that could run into your DAWs and talk back and forth with your computers. So shout out to the Crazy Wabbit. Appreciate you being in the building, man. Just having a conversation real quick about this freaking MPC Live 3. But anyway, I didn't see that coming, that they were going to include the USB-C port into the machine. Now, without giving away too much of what I'm going to talk about in my video when I do my video, because depending on how many people came into this live tonight, I was probably going to cut this live off and go ahead and film my video and give all of my point of view about this machine, 24 hours of having a machine in my possession. Y'all know that I love drum machines. Y'all know that I specifically love MPCs. And so to see the transition between the older machines, seeing the transition between what came out with the MPC 1 versus what came out with the MPC Live 2 and then the Kai Force. Woo! So, yeah. So you know the evolution of what's happening with this freaking MPC. Now there's a bunch of let me say this, and let me say this as nice as I can say it. There are some stupid people in the Facebook forums, on the MPC Facebook forums. There are some very, very stupid people in the forums. But there are some very, very smart people. But amongst those very smart people that's in those forums, there are some very, very stupid people in the forum. There are people in the forums that are, they only come to the forum to argue with people. They are, I can't think of the word right now, what we call them, but they only come in the forums to start. They're trolls, pretty much. They're trolls. That's it. They're trolls. They only come into the forums to argue with people about what you decide to buy, what you have, how much money you got, how much money you don't got. They only come into those forums to talk shit about whatever decision it is that people make with their own money. So if I decide that I want to buy 10 drum machines a year, that's my prerogative to buy 10 machines a year if I want to. That don't mean that just because you can buy 10 machines a year that you got to talk shit about me buying 10 machines a year, because guess what? I'm responsible enough to know that if I buy 10 machines, that means that bills still got to get paid, the light bill still got to get paid, the mortgage got to get paid, and guess what? I'm not going to mess up any of that to go buy a machine. So best believe priorities are straight and in order, and if I can afford to buy 10 machines, I'm buying them because I can afford to buy 10 machines. And there's a rhyme and a reason to it as well. It is a business. Y'all got to remember that. You got to remember that as a producer, your music is your business. So you need to get your music business in order. You need to be writing off these business meetings. You need to be writing off your electricity. You need to be writing off your space that you use to create in your studio. You need to be writing off your internet. You need to be writing off your gas that you drive to go back and forth to freaking meetings, to producer meets, to whatever you use to do music, your phone, this is your biggest, this is one of your biggest things that you use in your business, your phone. So you should be writing those things off. So, and then like Wabbit just says, you should be just happy that somebody else is enjoying a piece of equipment and that they can bring a product to you that you can also enjoy. At the end of the day, it's all about how much you can bring to the table for somebody else to enjoy. Because this is a labor of love. It's a labor of, it's something that you've given back to somebody. It's not just you're making music just to feel good about yourself making music. You're making music so that someone can feel good about what it is that you're making, and they can feel good and dance and have a good time based off the sonics that you create. So that is one of the things that you should be keeping in your mind as far as your music making ability. Now let's get back to the MPC Live 3. All right, without going into too much of my video of what I'm going to talk about in my video, I'm going to break it down and give you my reasons of why I like it, and I'm going to tell you my reasons of why I don't like it, or if there's things of it that I don't like. And there are some things on it that I don't like, but I can tell you there's more pros. There's more pros to this machine than there is cons to this machine. All right. I love it. I'm telling you all that just looking at it in this video, it does not give it justice of how good this machine looks. It doesn't give justice of how good this machine performs. It doesn't give justice on how good this machine feels. Now, I will give you one one thing about the machine that I haven't heard anybody say. I think that the speaker system on this machine sounds just like the MPC Live 2. All right, so what's going on? Day Son, I see you. Sun Silver Media is in the building. He's saying, "What's up? What's going on with you?" So yes, no ego. Yes, I have the MPC Live 3. That's why we're here talking about it. He says, "Is the screen the same as the Live 2 and the MPC 1 resolution?" I heard that this screen was a HD screen. That it was the same 7-inch, but it's an HD screen, and it looks to be highly, it looks to be of a high resolution, but I can't really tell. But I can tell you that as far as the touchscreen being responsive, the touchscreen is really responsive. So they did do some updates to the screen, because if you know, on the other machines, I don't know if it has to do anything with the video drivers or anything like that, but there is some lag with the 3.0 software when you're touching the screens. So again, salute to you, Dayson. I appreciate you being in the building. Standard deduction is 15,750. You would need to spend more than that to write anything off. All right, so we always got that is good. That is a good tad bit of information for people to know, that your standard deduction is that. Then you got to also you also have to put in, we ain't gonna have a business conversation tonight, but I will tell you that if you were to add up all the things that you spend in expenses for your music, you will see that you spend a lot more money than you think, because a lot of times you're not thinking about the cables that you gotta buy. You're not thinking about any of the accessories that you gotta buy throughout the whole year. Well, let me speak about me. Let me speak about me personally. I personally have over 39 drum machines. And in these drum machines, I like for all of my drum machines to somehow connect to each other and talk to each other. So sometimes I may buy the same cables to be able to connect. Let's say, for instance, I may. All right, that camera is on. Share. All right, cool. Let's swap. Hold on 1 second. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. There we go. Damn it. Okay. Cool. There's my camera. All right. My bad. All right. So what I was saying is a lot of time your accessories may be that key part of your music in your studio that runs your deductions up. Now here's the other thing. You can have a business and not make more money than you spend, and you can still write off your everything that you do in your business. Now, let me just add a tidbit. My wife works remote, and so with the both of us having deductions for both of our businesses for working from home, or working from her company from home, we both have we both have deductions. So by the time we both put it all together and it all goes the way we go, we're able to do what we do. But anyway, this ain't about that. All I'm telling you is that the option is out there, and you should be using everything at your disposal um to make your business work, because music is a business. All right, so let's move on. Sun Civil Media says, I want that bad boy. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that they want it, they would like to have it, and I don't blame you. And again, like I said a year ago, 2 years ago. Well, it's been 2 years now. That whatever Akai is gonna drop, I'm going to get it because I know that they will have to do updates to the prior hardware. They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to keep up with the times. They're gonna have to compete with everything that everybody else is doing, and so they would have to do that. So I knew that there would be something coming out in one of these machines. How well did your previous expansions and plugins connect with a new unit? Same. You just log into your InMusic account. I had to register the machine, of course, in InMusic, and then I had to actually go to the screen inside the MPC and make sure that you logged in with the code and everything ported over as normal. This is my 13th or 14th MPC. You know that you can only have two computers, and you can only have two devices of plugins running at any given time. So what I have to do is I have to go to all my plugins that I have on the machines that I'm not using and log out. And sometimes it will log out for you, so you don't have to log them out. But sometimes, like if I want to use Sub Factory, I use Sub Factory a lot. I'd have to go either my PC or my Mac and take off Sub Factory off of the preset to make it run on whatever machine that I'm going to use. So again, whatever makes sense. He just said it. Whatever makes sense for you, you make it work, and whatever makes sense for somebody else, then that just works for them. What's going on, cuz? I appreciate you being in the building. I'm talking about this new MPC that came out this week, and just wanted to have a little bit of a conversation about the machine. All right, so let's see. Do I got my sound back, my audio back? Audio back. We are good. This is my how many years? I started 14, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 10th year. This is my 10th year in my business. And so over the 10 years, I've never had a problem with filing my music with my business. Now, here's another thing, caveat to bring to this equation. Not only is my production company a part of my business, I also DJ. And so my DJ business, when I go and DJ for people, that DJ money and those DJ expenses, as far as mileage to drive to the party, the meetings I gotta have with the brides and the grooms and the rehearsal dinners and all that stuff. Guess what? All that goes into my business. I have to write that off every time I go and drive to an event. Every time that I have to go and pick up things, I write that off in my business. But anyway, let's stop talking about business. Let's talk about the MPC Live 3. I'll tell you a couple things that I'm going to talk about on my video, and I'm going to give y'all a quick clue into this machine. First of all, this machine is a dope ass motherfucking machine. Excuse my language, excuse my French. It is a dope machine. It is fast. Like when they say this machine is powerful, again, blatant network. We were on the phone last week and he kept saying, they keep mentioning the word powerful. They're using the word powerful for a reason. He went on his stream and he talked to y'all on the day shift. He talked to y'all about the word powerful, why they use the word powerful. I'm telling you, this machine is powerful. They gave you all the power of a MacBook, right? They gave you all the power of a lower level MacBook and said, get to work. They gave you up to how many plugins? 24 or 32? They gave you somewhere between 24 and 32 plugins. That's crazy. Now, people was complaining about having 8 plugins available on the machine, right? That's in standalone. But if you plugged it up to your computer and you use it in controller mode, you had unlimited plugins because you're using your computer. And guess what? Now, they just gave you, it's either 24 or 32. I think it's 24. Because it's 24 audio tracks and 32 MIDI that you can add in. But anyway, they gave you 24 plugins available to pull up on this machine and it won't drag. Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to give y'all a clue about what I'm going to do. All right. Y'all see in my studio that I told you I got 39. I probably got 45 right now. I probably have 45 drum machines in my studio. Counting 32 plugins. Sunsilk Media is saying 32 plugins. Psh, that's great. That's absolutely crazy. Here's a couple things that I'm excited about. Let me say this. What I was saying about these synths and these drum machines, right? Back in the day when Akai brought in the capability of you plugging your MPC up to a USB compliant interface. Y'all remember that? When they did that and it opened up that now you can have up to however many inputs to come into your MPC. They already did that with all of the old presets of MPCs, right? And now they made this machine to where you can use this machine at all times standalone, and now you can use all of the inputs and bring in all your other machines. You can use the freaking CV and bring in all of your CV equipment that you want to. And then guess what you can do? You can add them as plugins or you can add them as audio. And then guess what? With the USB-C, you can export all of that shit and print it to your DAW. So now you got every time you hear somebody say that they have no excuse to make beats, you have no excuse to make music, it's not a lie. It's not something that somebody came up with just to sound like they're saying something important. It's not a lie. So I'm telling you, if you can't make beats with the MPC Live 2, then having an MPC Live 3 ain't gonna help you make any beats. So get at Nard said, did they improve the MIDI editor? It used to be sloppy, would have to select erase pencil tool, minimize, maximize, squeeze to draw in a correct MIDI. I've only had it today, so I have not. Damn it! I keep making my camera move. Let me make my camera stop moving. I only had it today, so I have not been able to play with the MIDI editor much. But the time that I did play with the MIDI, I talk with my hands. The times that I did use the MIDI editor, it was very responsive and everything hit on the grid like it needed to. Now, I will say this about me. I know specifically when I make beats, my timing sometimes be off. So y'all will hear in some of the videos where like I'd hit the pad a little off and I had to go back and fix where I hit that. That is consistent with me across the board, just because somewhere within the third or fourth bar, I always lose timing somewhere in there. But even with it being quantized, I still lose timing somewhere between the third and fourth bar. In this new machine, I have not lost the timing on the new machine. It hits exactly where it needs to hit. So I think that they improved it. I think they improved on this shit. This shit right here, Guys, I'm not telling you to go buy this machine. I'm telling you that if you want the machine, you go buy it. If you don't want to buy the machine, you don't have to go buy the machine. The old machines work good. But I'm telling you that what they did to this machine, no matter how ugly you think it looks, listen, no matter how ugly you think it looks, go pick one up and look at it. Cut it on and make a beat with it. And then that should tell you everything you need to know about what they did with this machine. Now, I was not a big fan of all the freaking buttons at the top, but I knew, again, like everybody's been saying, there had to be a rhyme or reason to it. Like, a lot of people don't like to menu dive, and it's not even, listen, it's not even a lot of menu diving that you had to do it in the MPC, really. It's only 2 clicks. Most times to get wherever you need to go, there's 2 clicks or 2 to 3 clicks at the most that you got to do to go get to where you need to go. If you want to go to step editor, all you got to do is hit menu and you'll be right there where the step editor is. Then you click on step editor. It has an emblem for a step editor. I'm not step editor. Goodness gracious. What was I trying? Sample edit. If you want to go to sample edit, you hit menu, and inside the freaking menu, when it pops up, you hit the icon for that, and you can go there. If you want to go to track edit, same thing. I know the MPC X has buttons for all of those. You can just click on it. If you want to go to sampler, there's a sampler button. So I understood that they wanted. There's a lot of people that was crying about why they got to click 2 times. And that's the group of people that's always going to cry and complain about everything. Oh, well, why do we have a record button and an overdub button? Why do we have to have a step sequencer on a machine? So, listen, I thought that the machine, I thought they was doing too much. But here's the thing. You're going to have to learn the layout of the machine, like everybody. I'm learning the layout of the machine. Sometimes I'm sitting here looking at it like, how the hell do I get to track select? Oh, there's the button right there, track select. How do I get this to do that? You will have to learn how it works. But once you spend time with it, just like any of the other NPCs, once you spend time with it, you're going to learn it. You're going to get it. You're going to have to go to YouTube University. That's how I learned how to make beats on the NPCs. I went to everybody that made beats on with an NPC on YouTube, and I watched everybody's channel until I figured out how I want to make beats on an NPC. I watched Lifted Noise. I watched freaking Ab McCree. I know a lot of people talk about Ab McCree, but Ab McCree does some very good teaching when it comes to how to use the NPC. Like it or not, he does. And I don't want to drop names about everybody I watched, but I watched everybody. Accurate Beats, freaking Marlo. I watched everybody on YouTube when I started with the NPC because I didn't know how you're supposed to use the NPC. So 100 gave me courses and classes on how to use the NPC. I took notes on how to use the NPC because he was nice enough to show me how to use it until I learned it. And then once I learned it, I had to spend time with it to learn it. So this machine, you're going to have to spend time. You're going to have to sit with it until you get it, or you decide that you don't want to use what it has. Now, here's what I want to say. Here's what I really want y'all to understand. That all the specifics that it has in the machine, you don't have to use it. If you don't want to use a step sequencer, you don't have to use a step sequencer. If you don't want to use, the 4 corners of the pads in the matrix of the pads, you don't have to use it. You can disable that and use the pads just like all the other NPCs. You don't have to use that. It is editable where you can edit and change those freaking settings where you don't have to do that. But in the let me move this cable around. in the moment that you decide that you want to use everything that this machine has to offer, then it would behoove you to learn everything you can about this machine. Now, they did take a lot of things from the Force, and I'm thinking that the reason they did that is because a lot of people like the Force layout and the way that the Force worked. I love the Force. I was one of those champions that I was one of those people championing the Force because I knew how powerful the Force was, and I used the Force. And the only thing the Force is missing right now, is the work in the software. But you don't have to use the Force in the software. It's good as it is. It has a hard drive. It has an SD card. You can make your beats, export it out in the Matrix just like you can right now with the new MPC Live 3. Let's answer some questions. Yeah, I saw that too. He said those are the same people who complain about EQing by ear and why the visualizer ain't exact. Let me tell you something. That visualizer is there, and there's people that is complaining about the visualizer being there and don't even have the freaking machine. It's a lot of people complaining about the machine and won't get the machine and can't get the machine. So you have to take a lot of this stuff that you hear with a grain of salt when you hear people. It's cool. Everybody has their opinion. You're allowed to have an opinion. But I think that you should have an opinion when you actually put your hands on the equipment. You learn the equipment to where you have exhausted everything about the equipment, and then you made a decision. Then you made a decision about it that, okay, I've learned everything about the machine. I can't go no further with the machine. And I don't think there's many people out there that can say that. There may be a few, but I don't think there's a lot of people that can say that. Okay, here's another thing that I'll say. Get at Nard says all the peer pressure makes me want to get it, but I'm trying to hold off for the X if that's coming. Okay, again, for y'all who have not been on my live, let me tell you something. The FCC, I've been saying this for years and years and years. The FCC listing says there is quantity, blah, 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 of MPC hardware that they have applied for to get whatever they do when they apply to the FCC. So take that with a grain of salt. If one machine, let me say this, if one machine from the FCC list has dropped and there's this machine and this machine and this machine and this machine that have not been identified on the FCC list that have not dropped, then what does that tell you then? So a smart person would say that, I want to see what else they got, because maybe my pockets can't afford $1,600 for this machine, $1,600 for this machine, $900 for this machine, $2,500 for this machine, $3,000 for this machine. So it's common sense to say, let's just hold out, because guess what? I don't have my Live 2 here with me, but I will tell you that the Live 2 has been my moneymaker for the last, since 2017, 2018. 2017, 2018, the Live 2 has been my moneymaker. And I will tell you that if I didn't have this Live 3, I would still be making money with that Live 2. And I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I ain't gonna use the Live 2 no more. Because I'm gonna go back to the Live 2 when I leave this studio and I go back in my house and my wife says she wants to watch her TV dramas, and my daughter says she wants to freaking play Roblox, and I'm there by myself to be at my own wits. I'm gonna pick up the Live 2 and I'm gonna make beats on the Live 2. Or I may swap and bring this machine over to the house, and I may use this machine in the house. But when I want to unlock my brain and not worry about all these buttons and how A goes to B and B goes to C and blah blah blah, and I just want to work on a workflow that I know like the back of my hand, I'm gonna use that machine. Um, let me say this too before I go. I just want to tell y'all that this machine is really the reason that I got this machine. Really, reason I got this machine because when I heard that it could be the centerpiece of my studio and it's portable, I can take it outside. It got a speaker. When I know that this can run all the machines in my studio, it's a no-brainer that I'm gonna plug up every machine in my studio to this. All those 32 plugins that I can run at any given time, at minimum, I'm gonna run four plugins. I'm gonna run four plugins of equipment to this machine. And so when you hear the MPC drums and you hear the when you hear the chord cat when you hear the chord cat piano in it, then you're gonna know that it came from somewhere else. When you hear the freaking Poly-N tracker or the Poly-N synth sounds with the MPC, then you gotta know that those sounds came from somewhere else. That's all I'm telling you. So I won't get too much into my man. This world needs a hero. What's up, my guy? Now listen, if y'all don't follow anybody that is a hard-working individual that produce on streams, this world needs a hero. Man, every time I wake up in the morning, he's on stream. And when I go to bed at night, he's on stream. Actually, he probably would be on stream right now if he wasn't here in this room. So I appreciate you just being in the room tonight, hearing me blab about this machine when I know technically you're always on your stream. So shout out to him. He's a really good dude, and he is not scared to share his platform with his followers to tell them to come watch my channel. And the same thing for all of my followers that watch this channel, everybody in the chat, y'all go check out This World Needs a Hero. Pretty dope. He's a pretty dope dude. He's pretty good at what he does. And he's telling y'all about my favorite piece of gear that I have not put the money into. I've asked my project manager to allow me to get a couple dollars so I can actually invest into this secret sound module that he got over there, but I can't get my money to the end of the month, so I gotta wait. It says I'm just hoping for us mastering recording studio owners. They put coaxial digital in and out on a new flagship when they drop it. Hey, guess what? If you can run an interface that has the coax digital in and out on it, then you don't even need it on the MPC. So shout out to This World Needs a Hero. That's my guy. Y'all check him out. He is a new up and coming streamer and YouTube content creator. So check him out, man. Give him some follows because he's trying to get his followers up. And just like everybody out here in this space, we're trying to get followers. We're trying to get monetized. We're trying to show the world what we here for. And yeah, man, it's one of those things where we need your help. We need your support. We need you to watch the videos. We need you to like the videos. We need you to comment on the videos. All right, let me wrap this up. Let me tell you again. This machine right here, don't take my advice because of any type of gas, of any type of FOMO, of the fear of missing out. Don't take my advice because everybody else has got the machine. There's always going to be hype about the new thing, the new shiny thing that's come out. I will tell you that if you are able to afford the machine and you don't have to get rid of a device that you may want to keep or have in the future to get this new machine, I will tell you that get the machine if you can afford it. And then if you can't afford to get a machine, you could possibly wait because the price is gonna drop. I can tell you every Akai machine that has dropped when they came out, it came out at one price, and a year later or a year and a half later after it dropped, the price is gonna significantly drop. People are gonna buy it. I'm gonna tell you this: there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna buy the machine and they're gonna try to work it, and they're not gonna like the workflow, and they're gonna sell the machines. I'm telling you, that wave is happening. I have a master's degree in reverse logistics, and the stats tell you that there's a certain percentage of people that buy products and return them, and people like me have to determine what you do with that product once it comes back to you to figure out how to resell that product or to figure out how to keep it out of the landfill, to keep it from being recycled. So I'll tell you that there's a percent, and there's going to be a high percent of people that's going to get this machine, and they're going to get the machine pristine, brand new, because there ain't no used market for this machine yet. So everybody that's buying the machine is going to get the machine, and there's going to be people that's going to try to make a lick off of it. There's going to be people that's going to run into financial problems. There's going to be people that's going to figure out that it's October. I bought this machine in October. Christmas is coming. I can't buy my kids Christmas gifts, so I need the money to buy my kids Christmas gifts. So I'll sell it for $1,000. I bought it for $1,600. I bought it for $1,800. I'm gonna sell it for $1,000 just to get my $1,000 back. I can take the $600 loss. So again, they're going to come. The prices are gonna come down. But if you are blessed enough to be able to afford it, and you know, you're gonna write it off on your taxes, or you're gonna pay it off in 12 months, or you're gonna pay it off in 16 months, or you're gonna pay it off in 3 months. But you put it out there for 24 months, and in 3 months you pay it off. However you do what you do, it is a good investment. It's going to, I think that eventually it will hold its value, but history has shown that all these machines do go down in price. That's just what it is. But by the time they do go, I will tell you this, by the time they do go down in price, there's going to be another shiny machine that comes that's going to replace this machine. It's going to be much faster. It's going to be much, it's going to have more storage. It's going to have more bells and whistles. It's going to have AI. It's going to have all that shit. Now, last thing I'll say, I really appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for joining, listening to me yap. I wasn't going to come over here and talk long. Has it been an hour yet? Ain't even been an hour yet. I was going to come and talk for an hour, but 48 minutes is good. Thank you for if you are a subscriber to the channel, if you have liked any videos, if you have watched any of the videos, I really appreciate you. The last thing I'll say is that where Akai really made their money in this machine is the audio being able to be sent out of the USB-C, and the audio to be brought back in from the USB-C. That's where they made their money at. If you know anything about the S2400 has USB audio that comes out of the USB that can be ran into your computer, into your DAW. And then, yes, and you can also live loop back to the S2400 from your computer, because I used to do that. I used to go to my plugins, play my plugins from my computer, live loop them back into the S2400, and play them on top of samples. But anyway, that is where the MPC, this is where Akai and the MPC made their money at. That now you can bring all the sounds out of this machine, put them into your DAW, mix, master, and then nobody can have any complaints about mastering inside the box, because you don't have to. You can bring it into Logic, and if you even know how to mix and master right, you can mix and master in from your DAW. And then what you can do is you can send it back out of your DAW back into your MPC and add more stuff to it. I don't know why you do that, but some people do crazy stuff like that. They send them back and forth until they get, whatever. However you want to use it, just make music, man. That's all I can tell you. Make music. I'm gonna probably be up all night in my brain thinking about how to work this machine, what I missed, what I didn't do. I'm gonna be watching again Andy Mack. Shout out to Andy Mack, man. Andy Mack, to be as good as he is with these machines, it is incredible for him to have taught that 1 hour preview of this machine and showed you how to do everything on the freaking machine in one swoop. So one day I'll get that good and I'll be able to go through the machine like that in one swoop, like I do the other ones. And now it's making me dig deep and have to figure out the stuff that I don't know. Like, I don't like to go into the freaking what is it called? The track edits. I don't like to go into the track edits and mess with the LFOs and I don't like to go into the weeds of maneuvering and changing sounds and all that kind of stuff. But that is one of the things that I'm going to have to work on, that I know that I was hiding from using those in my other machines, but now in this machine you have to. So I'll give y'all one more good look at this bad boy. Listen, it is awesome. Only thing I don't know how to do right now is get the microphone, the built-in microphone that's right here by my lips. The one thing I don't know how to do is get the input on the microphone to pick up correctly. So I'm gonna have to watch some videos to figure that out, because it's not like the old machine where you plug in your input and then you press the button that says monitor input, and then your microphone, you can hear what's coming out of the microphone. It's not that way. It's different. Yeah, it's dope. And in one of my videos I just posted today, this freaking strip, the strip that has all those different functionalities in it. You can do the beat repeats. You can do so much stuff. The note repeat with that freaking thing. You can do the volume with it. It is crazy. World Needs a Hero says turn off the speaker button on the back. Yeah. There's somebody that did a video that said they wasn't getting any sound, and then they said, oh, I didn't turn on the speaker button on the back. I'm like, wait a minute, if you got the live too, you should already known that the speaker button is why you probably not getting any sound. But that was actually pretty funny. But anyway, again, thank y'all. Appreciate you. Much love. If you, let's see, y'all know already, follow me on all social media at Beats by Lonze everywhere. Today is Bandcamp Friday. Check out my Bandcamp, beatsbylonze.bandcamp.com. Every Bandcamp person that puts out music on Bandcamp gets 100% of their proceeds that they make on Bandcamp. So today and today only, if you buy an album for $1, that $1 comes to me today. If you buy that same album tomorrow for $1, then 85 cents is going to come to me and 15 cents is going to go to Bandcamp. So please support independent artists. And again, thank you very much. Much love to you. And I think we out of here. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. And check out my podcast, the Grind 329 podcast. It's on all DSPs and streaming platforms. And we're going to play my song and then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah. I'm on the radar. You see me yet? You got to. Zay.
People looking at me, the closer it hurts. My closet's mismatched, it's full of Zilla shirts. My own merch, El Jefe and hats and visors. Looking at the team growing like it was Kaiser. Permanente, I speak Spanish, Paquito, Smooth, Harry Belafonte. They say too cool and just regular Lonze. And when you hit a tag, it's normally heat behind it. I've been hustling for so long, you know the numbers got grind behind it. Tune to the 329, cause when you tune in the 3, you gotta stay for 29. I've been rocking since my 20s. Technically, I started in 1989. Probably before that, probably maybe rewind about 9. That would be about 80, maybe that's by design. I would ask my mama, unfortunately we ran out of time. She be proud of a black sheep, and if she didn't say it loud, I know she said it when that phone beat. You know, cause I'm a prized possession. And even if it's not in a confession, this my confession. And even if it's not a confession, this my confession. For real, I say, this shit hard. I'm talking about the beat. This shit hard. And I ain't talking about the beat. Yeah, you know, this shit hard. And I can't even cheat. You know, this shit hard. And y'all walking around thinking this shit sweet.